Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Never Mind the Buy Box. Evening, Jamie. Evening, Ruth. Every week I say this, they're always the first on YouTube to say hello. So we simultaneously stream. I know you do as well, Christos, on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And Jamie and Ruth are always first there. Please give us. Oh, let me introduce my guest first of all. I was like straight on into it. I was like, right, let's go for it. But no, welcome, Christos. For anyone that doesn't know Christos Fellas, thank you for joining us this evening. Pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's great to be here. I think it was about 6 months ago I came on last time, and it was really fun. So I'm really glad to be back in 2021 talking to the guys.
Yeah, absolutely. 2021. So where did that year go then?
Oh God, don't even start.
Absolutely crazy. Well, we'll just wait for a few more people to jump on. Oh, Hayden's joined us from YouTube tonight as well. I think I'm going to have to look to find the comments actually, because they don't seem to be coming through on Facebook. So I'm not sure if more people have joined us on there. Let's just have a quick look. Sorry, just waiting for the notification. There we go. Someone's just said, Sean said, wish my house was as tidy as both of yours. Well, Sean, I've seen pictures of your house, and I would say that Del Boy's flat is probably got less stock in than yours.
I've seen if that's Sean Gilbert. Yeah, I've seen your pictures as well, Sean, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, that's what keeps it going. All right, okay. So it seems to be. I think StreamYard's a little bit delayed tonight on Facebook, so that's why we're just waiting for those comments to come through. And now everyone's commented at exactly the same time. So let's go through and say hello to everyone. Jane, Matt Webley's joined us. Yo. Matthew, good evening. Denise. Andre, evening Denise, evening Shamalia, evening Karen, evening Andre, evening Martino. Hi Karen. Right. Well, looks like we're set and ready to go. So, I mean, yeah, it's been 6 months, probably about that, I think, Christos, since you joined us last time. And
I think it was about July last time I spoke to you on here anyway.
Yeah, something like that. And, you know, obviously a lot's happened since then. I think we were definitely well into the pandemic, but obviously so much more has happened since then. And lots has been happening to you. Well, which we're going to dive into and ask Christos what he's up to, as well as talking about a number of, you know, kind of Amazon, e-com, money making, multiple streams of income, lots to get through tonight. Definitely, we're going to be covering a lot. But just before we get started, like I said, I just want to double check someone can, you know, see and hear us. Okay, I think someone would have mentioned it by now if they couldn't, but just let me know in the comments. And also just let me know how everyone is as well. Just how's it going? How are sales on Amazon? What's going down with you guys? Please let us know. Oh yeah, I've just seen Matt Webley's comment. Actually, I was talking to Matt Webley earlier tonight, and he was blaming you for getting a sleepless night because you were up playing late with him on some computer game.
Yeah, well, yeah, nah, that's all him. It's all him. He was the one that got me on this game. Yeah, I'm not taking any of the blame there.
Well, he was. Yeah, Matt was on the call with myself, Karen, and one other person earlier, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so tired," and we were like, "Why are you tired?" And he was like, "Well, I was up till X amount playing this game with Christos," and all three of us were like, "Well, that's your fault," you know, no sympathy here.
One more. That's what we keep saying. One more.
Absolutely. Right. Okay. So Matthew Wright's joined us evening. Matthew. Yeah, everyone can say that they can see and hear us fine. Well, that's brilliant. Right. Also, because we've got the legend that is Christos Fellas on with us, so please do give us some hearts and likes and loves, just so it pushes out the notification to everyone on Facebook, because I know there's been some sort of algorithm change or something like that, so I think it pushes out less notifications. But please give us as much love as you can without feeling awkward. So yeah, a lot's been going on with you, Christos. Certainly since we last spoke. I mean, it's good to have a good catch up, because obviously things have changed for you. You've gone from working essentially full time in I think it was a job you enjoyed.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Well, I wouldn't say loved it, but
Yeah.
it was a job that I enjoyed, and it wasn't a very taxing job on my, mind, and kind of, it wasn't a physical job, but yeah, it was a job that I really enjoyed to start off with, one that I'd planned on doing for the rest of my life. And yeah, I left it, I think, oh God, I can't even remember now. There's so much gone on in January. I think my last day was actually Christmas Eve,
Oh,
which
was
was
it?
yeah. So yeah, that's been good. And so I've been full time for literally 1 month, pretty much just gone. So it's all very new to me at the moment, but it's going well.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
obviously, you started in this world, started with Amazon, and built multiple streams of income. You were doing this whilst working full time, which made me think that you were some sort of robot anyway, because you were doing so much whilst working full time, and just making it absolutely possible for anyone that, I suppose, anyone that would be ashamed to say, well, I don't have time to do that. You were doing all of this, building a YouTube channel, selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, and you were working at the same time, but you enjoyed your job. So I'd imagine there was that kind of element of, oh, do I quit? Don't I quit? So what was the moment? What was the moment that you said to yourself, I can't do this anymore, or I don't think I can grow?
Yeah, like the main kind of the big thing for me was that I never really hide it, that working full time, building an Amazon business, running a YouTube channel, trying to do all these other things. I did some websites during that time as well, developing them. You cannot hide away from the fact that it's going to take a massive toll on your mental health and your actual health as well. Most of my nights I was up until 2, 3 in the morning doing whatever I was doing. And I definitely had no time to be playing PlayStation. That's a fact during those times. But and it got to a point where, I was waking up 8:30 to go to my day job. I was sitting at my day job feeling absolutely exhausted, both mentally and physically, and then getting to the point where I had to film a YouTube video, but film a YouTube video, do my Amazon business, do shipments, and do everything. And it just got to a point where everything was getting too much, and I just had to kind of bring back some kind of structure to my life. And the first thing to go, of course, is going to be the full-time job. So that's what really brought me to that decision. Like I said, I've always enjoyed my job. Just for those that didn't know what I did, I was a software developer. So I was a bit of a geek, but I enjoyed it. And but it just got to that point where one thing had to go. And of course, it was always going to be that. So that is why that one went. But yeah, that was the main kind of reason why I quit, was because it wasn't because I needed the money or anything like that. It was just to the point where it just wasn't healthy.
No, okay. So it really
Yeah.
came down to
Yeah.
health and, mind versus,
Yeah.
being, and I think you're absolutely right, because obviously if you are mentally and physically fatigued, then that's going to inhibit you from being able to grow your business.
Yeah,
And
and there was a point actually where it's coming across in my videos, and people won't say this, but I look back at my videos when I first started 2 years ago, and I think I've aged like 15 years, but it feels like a lifetime ago that I started YouTube, but it was actually only 2 years ago. So but yeah, like,
for the record, you don't. But I will just say, I think the last 12 months has aged us all, with everything that's been going on.
yeah, true.
I think it absolutely. I mean, it's hard to say, because I do think, and I know certainly in your group, and from you talk about this in your YouTube videos, and I saw one in particular just a few weeks ago, or a few days ago. It seems to be going so quick at the moment, where you were talking about quitting your job, when's the right time, and all this, and it is a really commonly asked question, especially when people take side hustle to full-time living, because there's lots of things that you do have to factor into account. Not only that loss of the security of income, it's about ensuring that you have the right warehouse in place or whatever structure to do everything that you want to be able to do. And if you take away that income, are you going to be able to grow your business enough within a certain amount of time to cover that? You know, there's lots of factors to take into account. And presumably these are all things that you went through. Was there a time, and this is going to be like a really candid question, it might sound a bit mean or a bit harsh, but was there a time that you could definitely do all that and you could cover your income with what you were doing? And obviously I know you said that you enjoyed your job as well, but was there just a bit of a time where you were just a bit scared to take that leap?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still scared now. Like, you know, like I don't think anyone can, like, apart from those that probably know no different, I think anybody quitting their job to do this full time, no matter what you're doing, would say that they must have some sort of anxiety around it, and I felt just that, and I definitely, I'm not afraid to admit that. I know my YouTube channel is all about, you know, doing that, but I think it's completely natural as well, and like the big thing for me is that I think you were saying I probably could have quit my job a year and a half ago. But the big thing for me was I wanted to be more diverse. I didn't have the income streams that I wanted to get. The big thing for me that kind of really made me comfortable to push and quit that job was my rental property that I bought. And that was a big thing for me, because that's an income that just pays me every single month completely passively now. And I couldn't have done that if I didn't have my full-time job. And I knew that I had to just hold on to that just for that little bit longer until I got that over the line. But yeah, like I said, in terms of like the money kind of side of things, I'm not so much worried about the kind of the impact of leaving my job for that, but definitely around just working as well. Like I haven't got anyone telling me what to do now. You are completely doing everything on your own back. If you don't work, you don't earn money. You know, it's very much like that. So there is a lot of anxiety about that. One big thing that's happened this year so far, I don't know whether, I think you know, Nat, but I got a puppy, and
where is he?
He's sleeping right now, and I'm going to tell you one thing, right? Don't let the cute pictures fool you. He is an absolute nightmare, but he is only a puppy. He is only a puppy, but you leave him for 10 minutes, he's crying, and you know, the big thing was the first 2 weeks of the year, all my time has been devoted to looking after him and doing all of that. But at the same time, I was quite anxious because I thought, I'm 2 weeks into my time as a full-time entrepreneur and I've done no work. And but that is what it is, you know. But yeah, so the anxiety around it is always going to be there, I think, for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think understanding that and recognizing that before you take that step, you know, I've experienced this myself over the last, you know, few weeks in particular. And I've told this story a couple of times now, but it's so true. You know, I've been self-employed for a really long time, run my own business for a really long time. And you still, after years and years and years, it's still always a learning process, and you have to always be prepared for the unexpected, and you have to acknowledge it and not stick your head in the sand. Same thing with the kids. This, you know, with the kids being, you know, not at school. We totally planned for January to do certain bits in our business, and then we got the notification, obviously, that the kids are not going to be going back to school, and that looks like it's going to be for quite a long time. And you know, I was having a meeting with Matt Webley, and he said, look, you're gonna be all right. I know your kids are everything to you, they're your life, kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do that. And the kids not being off is, you know, that's not going to affect it in any way, shape or form. And boy, was I wrong. And it's good to be in a positive frame of mind. I consider myself to be a really positive mindset person. It takes a lot to, you know, to smash me down, kind of thing. But at the same time, sometimes being on that more optimistic side, it can lead you off down a little bit of an unrealistic route. So I have to check myself, and I really do have to check myself for that. So that's what advice I would give to anyone as well. You have to be realistic, and you have to expect the unexpected. And you know what? These things are going to happen. And as long as you face them and don't stick your head in the sand, you know, that's the most important thing, I think, definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
Right, let's I've ignored a few people on comments, which I always do. Apologies. So let's see what everyone says. Paulina says hi, Salvatore. Let's have a quick look. Joseph says evening, hope you're well. I think Matt was having a little laugh about the old Apex Legends, I think it's called, something like that. Paul's joined us. Abu says, Nat, where do you lock the kids up when you do never mind the buy box? Any advice? Just in that cupboard behind me. There you go. I've trained them to be so quiet. You can't hear them at all. And as soon as I switch off the end broadcast, they come out and like see the light for the first time. No, I'm only joking. Before anyone calls social services, they are with my Matt or / my mum. One of the two, but definitely in the house somewhere. But yeah, you just have to get the other person to look after it. That's why we're a team. Karen says the office is looking good. Absolutely. I have serious office background backdrop envy.
Thank you very much, Karen. Appreciate that. Yeah,
it looks really, really good. Philip says, evening all, you have a captive member tonight. So I just want to take the time. Philip's not been very well, unfortunately. He's been a big part of this community. So just really want to wish him the best and get well soon. And I know you're going to be back smashing it soon, and make sure you get a prep center, because part of the reason why he's not well, because he does everything himself. So there's a lesson for everyone. Make sure you outsource when you get the opportunity.
The best. Yeah, hope you get better soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So fingers crossed. Sean says, giving up my job was the best thing I did. Still pay myself a little. This is how he scaled his business. Now paying people to help scale the business further. Christos is next, unless he's got someone helping already. Yeah. So what's the next steps with that? Are you going to be looking to outsource stuff, hiring staff?
So one thing that I've actually done this year, there's a little bit of a story to it, so bear with me. Basically, my dad, he lives in Florida.
Yes, I remember this discussion.
Yeah, well, he doesn't permanently live there, but he had to come back to the UK for visa reasons and stuff like that. And he quarantined with me at this house. But in that time at this house, we actually took the time out to we've redone my garage. I don't know whether you've seen any of my videos about my garage, but basically, I've converted my garage into an Amazon kind of processing unit, and this was back in August, and it started off really well. But just like with everything that you first move into, you need to kind of work in it for a while to understand what works well and what hasn't worked well. And one of the things that I personally didn't find, that there wasn't really much space to move around in. And actually, with Amazon, you don't really need too many kind of storage shelves, because your boxes are coming in and then they're going straight out. So what we've actually done, and I'm going to be doing a video all about this soon, just showing the changes, but we've put some workbenches more along the side in there. And the reason why I've done that is because I've actually got 2 family members that are going to be coming in and helping me out with the business, which is going to be really good. And I needed to create some more room for those. And then probably later on this year, I'm going to be looking back into a prep center. I was using a prep center this time last year, and the reason why I was doing that wasn't because I wanted to grow my Amazon business more, was actually I wanted to take the shipping side of things off my hands so I can actually concentrate on another revenue stream that I was working on at the time, and it worked really well that time. So that's what I'll probably do this year. But in terms of help, I am actually doing most of it myself, but I do have plans. I've got the 2 family members that are going to be coming in this year. That is really good if you can get one of those to come in. But obviously, COVID at the moment is kind of stopping all of that. The prep center is definitely going to happen, and then I'm probably going to look to get a VA at some point this year, not so much just for the Amazon business, just a general VA, just that can work on all of the different things that I do, you know, maybe some accounting, some Facebook group admin, and, you know, all of, just literally everything, almost like an admin VA to come in and do lots of things for me. But yeah, no, plans to outsource quite a lot this year.
Sounds good. And I would definitely recommend that approach to anyone else. If you are in a position, like I said, boxes do come in and come out. I completely agree with that. And if you are in a position where you're okay with it, family members, I always say, are family members, immediate family members and friends are the best people to touch base with first, because at the end of the day, they're going to be people you trust, hopefully.
Yeah.
And also they are going to be people that, fingers crossed, you can rely on as well. And like lots of these different things that you can take into account before going out to people to bring into your home. It just means you can kind of keep control of things a little bit longer. You can scale to the next level, and then obviously you can use a prep center from there, or possibly then go into a separate premises, because prep centers aren't for everyone at the end of the day. Some people like to retain control, but it's just they get forced into a prep center because they want the stuff out of their house or out of their premises. So maybe, guys, if you're getting to that point where the boxes are piling up and, you know, definitely looking like Del Boy's flats, maybe consider a storage unit and a family member to help you out. You know, definitely look at different options to be able to do that. Well,
yeah, another thing I like to look at it as well is I have plans on getting staff in the future, and both of these people are actually retired. You know, they're not exactly after masses of money or anything like that. But I look at it as a kind of a practice run for when I actually want to bring in someone properly, like full time. Because at the end of the day, if things go badly, it is your family member. It's not like you're having to let someone down that is relying on you for a full-time wage. Whereas retired family member, you know, they don't need the money. They're just doing it because they want to help out, and they're bored pretty much. So very lucky. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you can rope in a parent or someone like that, they might even do it for free.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pay anyone, definitely. Let's just have a quick look. So a lot of people talking about eBay tonight. So because we've been talking a lot about eBay. It'd be good to get your thoughts on that as well.
I actually feel quite pressured tonight because the last two guests that you've had have been brilliant. Matthew Wright, is it? I think.
Yeah, Matthew. Yeah, he's tonight. Absolutely.
Yeah, he was superb last week. I think he was on last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on last week, and yeah, we just absolutely he just absolutely knows his stuff when it comes to not only eBay but Amazon and Shopify. You know, he's just a master at absolutely growing.
You can tell as well, you know, just from the way he spoke about it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely welcome addition to the Secret Wealth Project, and never mind the buy box as well. So we've persuaded him to do a little bit of free training, which I don't know if I should say tonight, but there we go. I have.
And the legend that I think he came on just before Christmas. I can't remember his name though, but he just went off on one. I can't remember.
Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Oh no!
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It was one of those things that about 10 minutes in, I was sort of like thinking, oh my God, it's going to square, he's going to do this. And then after that, I just thought everyone was loving it. So I go for it. Just
my favorite episode by far. It was entertaining and like extremely informative at the same time. I learned so much that night. That was awesome.
Yeah. Definitely getting Mark back on at some point in the future. But yourself, Christos, we're absolutely delighted to have you on here, because I know as well that you just get you know your YouTube channel and things like that. You get amazing amount of views, lots of love, great feedback, because the qualities that you put out, the videos that you put out are exceptional quality. They have great information in. So you know it's praise well deserved. Absolutely. So yeah, let's talk about eBay. Matt says everybody is ignoring eBay, which I completely agree. Massive missed opportunity. They generate tens of billions of pounds in sales every year, and most of it is brand new stuff. People think it's just secondhand stuff, and they couldn't be more wrong. Completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah, lots of people agreeing on the comments. Salvatore says, early days for me, so no giving up the job quite yet. But no, absolutely something to strive for future, and going to do it when you feel ready. Absolutely. And don't feel pressured to do it. I think with a lot of YouTube content, Facebook groups, and there's so much information out there, and I think people get FOMO a lot of the time and feel pressured to be able to do things. But what I was originally meant to say when I asked you about feeling scared and anxious about doing that is people have got to make the right decision for them at the right time for them, and I think most people will know when it's the right time.
Yeah, I've got a good story actually. So when I first started Amazon, I started it, and it was there was also another 3 friends of mine that lived all kind of around the country, 2 in Manchester, and then one quite close to me in Norwich, that also started on Amazon at the same time. And I was the last one out of the group of us to quit their job, and it was really interesting to see, because we all quit our jobs at different times, but we all had different circumstances, and it was just really interesting. And like, just going back to the point that you made, it really does depend on your circumstances, because one of the guys that quit their job, they didn't have to pay a mortgage. One of the people that quit their job, they had 2 kids that they had to look after and pay for, and everyone's situation is so different. So in terms of the fear of missing out, I just take it from me, like I had to sit there for almost, I think it was like 10 months, where all of the people kind of closest to me that I know run their own businesses were all kind of living this life of freedom, whereas I was grinding it out at my day job. But I knew that I was on the path for me, So if you're out there thinking, I want to quit my job and be like all of these guys, you just got to really take it into your own kind of circumstances and just be proud of, where you are right now, because I think it's really important.
Absolutely. I think that's phenomenal advice.
And also as well, you don't have to quit your job. Like I know so many people that sell on Amazon alongside their full-time job. That's the beauty of Amazon. You can do it alongside a full-time job. It's just, you don't have to. There's no like rule book around. Yeah, I
completely agree. And you don't have to be a 7-figure seller. You don't have to be a 6-figure seller. I know a good and few amount of people that fly below the VAT threshold, but they sit on their stock for a really long period of time, so they only hold out for really high margins. And I'll be honest, some of those people are probably making more money than some people that are doing 250K a year on Amazon. So it's all about individual circumstances, 100%. And I think that's so true. Don't judge don't judge yourself on anyone's standards. We're all running our own race, essentially. I think Sean's just said, which is an interesting point, so we will talk about this a little bit more, because we've got lots to talk about tonight, is part of the reason why people don't do eBay is obviously because they don't want to pack and send the stuff themselves. And if you've not got that kind of merchant fulfilled setup, then it can be a bit more difficult. And I do agree with that, but there's lots more solutions out there nowadays for people to be able to facilitate an Amazon businesses, Amazon brain, an eBay business as well. So that's definitely so. I assume you're doing your own because you're back at home and doing it yourself from an eBay point of view, or no,
I well, once again, my dad, through watching my YouTube content, has got massively into eBay now. Over in the States. He's hitting up all of the garage sales and the state sales and stuff like that. And now he's a big eBay fan. So the first thing he wanted to do when he came here was, right, what have you got to list on eBay? I'll do it all for you. So I said, there's the garage, to be my guest. And he listed like 40 things for me on eBay. I think it was 2 weeks ago, because I made a video on it, and I done all the packaging and posting though. But eBay's awesome, man. I don't know how anyone doesn't like it.
No, absolutely. I think it really opened our eyes, because after Matthew kindly did some some training in the Elite Sellers Academy and for eBay. So, we were like, I would never done eBay. I hadn't sold on eBay in, I don't want to admit how long, but it was a long time. And, almost I could have a child that old and be like a fully grown adult. So a really long time for selling on eBay. But we were really, we set up and did the basics. We didn't do anything, mad or anything like that. But the amount of income it generated within a really short period of time over Q4, and it was completely additional to, and it was total bonus, things that we probably wouldn't have sold, and all these different type of things. And when we talk about this, guys, this is in addition to Amazon. It's not either or. It's it's in addition to Amazon. So
I couldn't believe how much difference it made. Like this month has really opened my eyes. I was talking about it before Christmas, but this month, when like me and my dad did dedicate a lot of time to listing on eBay, and then I think 1 week we got paid something like, because I'm on the managed payments thing now with eBay, we got like £1,000 through in like 1 week's worth of payments, and I'm like, that is £1,000 that I would have never have made, because all of that stock is just all like stock, that's dead stock. There was a few things from the house that I sold as well within that. And then the other great thing that I just love about it as an Amazon seller is that when I'm selling things on Amazon, I've always got that anxiety about every single product I send in, even if it's just a small bit, is there an issue with that product? And there's just nowhere near as strict. You don't have to worry about it as much. eBay's not going to come and bite your hand, and if that's the wrong saying, but they're not going to come tell you off if you've listed a product and put the description wrong or something like that. And it's just so nice just to have that second kind of money coming in with the Amazon business, but especially over Christmas as well, because I was spent out over Christmas on Amazon stock. It was like a really rare time for me where I actually had no money to source. And that's what actually got me into the whole eBay thing at the time. And then I was getting the payments weekly from eBay, and all of a sudden I had money to go again with my Amazon stock. And this is bloody awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely something, well, everyone knows we've been talking about it a lot more, and definitely will be in the future. So that's good to hear as well. Let's just quickly, Matt said it's cool and rare that you like your job. It seems, I think he's talking about Andy, who made a comment earlier. Andy says not looking to quit his job anytime. He likes his job. Brother doing his prep. That sounds like a good trade-off, definitely. And still lots of room to grow without me needing to quit. Yeah, absolutely. You do what you want to do. It's your journey at the end of the day. Side hustles are fantastic. And like I said, I think just what's happened in the last 12 months, and this is my kind of 2 cents worth, is I think so many people have grown their businesses because of kind of COVID Q4 and the multiple Q4s within a year's period of time that we've experienced due to this pandemic. It's kind of it's sped people's journeys up. It's put them in a position that they were probably in, possibly something up to maybe 18 months to 2 years sooner than they might have been without the pandemic. So I think what we've seen, and especially from YouTubers and Facebook group owners and everything like that, we've seen a lot more acceleration in people's businesses that we wouldn't have ordinarily seen. So therefore, it's almost like we're all talking about quitting jobs and 7-figure sellers and everything like that, probably when we wouldn't ordinarily be talking about that as much. But at the same time, the world is changing and everything's accelerated. So I don't think it should also be looked at as a temporary acceleration, because the world has changed now, and I don't think there's any going back from this kind of online boom that we're seeing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. No.
Yeah. I just think I was watching the business news this morning, and it was interesting because there was a woman on there from Santander, and she was, I say a woman, she was like the global head of operations for Santander for businesses. And, you know, she was talking about lots of different things. But one of the things she said, and it was so interesting because she said it with such conviction, such clarity. And I've never heard anyone in a very, you know, I suppose, influential position say this as such, which was about, you know, traditional businesses on the high street, you know, all these different types of businesses. And she didn't pretty much say it. She said that if you are running a traditional type of business, if you have not taken the time to put yourself online or do it in the next 12 months, you're dead in the water. You know, that, and it was as clear as day that she said that. And I think when you look at it, when you've got someone in that influential position saying that, we know that the high street is on a slow decline and a painful death, essentially. But I think it's just accelerating. And there's, oh God, there's just, the opportunities are massive over the next 12 months and beyond.
Ridiculous. Yeah, no, it's amazing. The opportunities they are. I think, like you say, it doesn't have to just be Amazon. I think any kind of online business model out there has a really high chance of succeeding if you put the work into it. But there's so many people out there at the same time that just don't want to change, you know, and there may even be a time where, I don't know, online business may not be the way forward and will have to change. But right now, I think we're in the place to be right now, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about one of the things that you're known for is building multiple streams of income and wanting to build multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
Amazon, eBay, YouTube, property, all of these different types of things. So what would you say? Because obviously we're told by gurus and things like that, you should only do one thing at a time and you should focus on this. What was your approach to building those multiple streams of income, and how do you stay focused when you are building multiple streams of income?
Yeah, well, in terms of staying focused, that's an easy one to answer. There's two things really that I kind of has always helped me stay focused. Is number one, of course, staying organized, and I'll get to that in a second. But the second one is definitely setting the right expectations. So, for example, obviously one of the main ones that I started as a second income is my YouTube channel, even though when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't earn any money from it, of course, but I needed to understand that if I was going to put 50% of my time into my YouTube channel and 50% of my time into my reselling business, then my reselling business isn't going to earn as much as someone that's putting 100% of their time into their reselling business. And this really kept me focused because, once again, going back to my group of friends, a lot of them were putting 100% into their business and they were seeing the results from it. But I approached it with the fact that I know that I'm not going to make as much money from my reselling business, but the big thing for me is I know that over a long period of time, I'm going to be more diverse, which is much more comfortable for me. So the first thing is definitely setting the right expectations, because it took me 2 years. I'm only really seeing half a decent income from YouTube personal brand now than, you know, than I was like a year ago and stuff like that. So, number one, expectations, but then number two is, I know a lot of the gurus say this, but organization is so important. And like when I said just using obviously YouTube and Amazon as an example, like one big thing that I used to do when I was really focusing on those two was I'd split my week in half, and basically I would have a creator day and then a manager day. So basically on my creator days, I would focus solely on my YouTube kind of channel, my Facebook group, creating content, blog posts, YouTube videos, the lot. And I'd be so strict. I would say I'm not even going to look at Amazon that day unless there was an action that I had to perform. You know, if I got a message from Amazon or anything like that, obviously I would prioritize that. And then I'd have the manager day, which is where I would do my sourcing and prepping and sending stock out and stuff like that. And I stayed really strict to that. And I think that's really important, because when I first started out, it was all just a big mess. It was like, right, I'm going to film a video at 5 o'clock. Once I've filmed the video, I'm going to prep this shipment, and then I'm going to do some sourcing online, and everything just felt all over the place. And I see this quite a lot as well, like just from a couple of people that I know that have tried to do the same thing, and they've ended up just focusing on the one thing in the end.
Yeah.
And I think that is because it all becomes a bit of a mess. Whereas the big thing that I did was I really just focused on staying strict. You know, Mondays is for creating videos, Tuesdays is for working, maybe going out and doing some sourcing, Wednesdays creating another video, Thursday online arbitrage, doing a shipment, you know, and that's the way I really like to stay really structured with it, not to the point where it was like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, but Monday, you know, like what I said, manager and creator days were really important for me when I was building them up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's phenomenal. I think that it is something, especially if you are the easily distracted type, you know, I think you are someone that gets distracted by social media or, you know, bright shiny things or whatever, then to be able to focus on one thing for that period of time, I think that's absolutely amazing advice. So, for those of you out there that have issues with being distracted, then, you know, listen to what Christos has said there, because I think when if you're someone that can multitask and focus, I think you're all right doing different things, providing they're in an organized kind of priority list. I can flip from different things and stay on track and be okay. But at the same time, but Matt can't. My husband can't. He would have to 100% focus on one thing for a certain period of time, probably a day, possibly a week, something like that, in order to get it done. So I think that's
another thing on that quickly. Sorry for interrupting. Right.
That's all right. I normally interrupt everyone else. That's fine.
A big thing, the reason why I do those things, I have a dedicated day to making YouTube videos, is because you can batch content and batch work. And I think batching work, no matter what you're doing, is so much more productive than doing what like I used to do. So for example, going back, I'd film the YouTube video, edit the YouTube video, schedule it on YouTube, and then I'd go and do a shipment. Whereas on a Monday now, I'd film 3 or 4 YouTube videos in a row, and then that's done. I haven't got to worry about that anymore. And then back with the Amazon thing, a big thing for my Amazon business that really freed up so much time was I set one day a week where I dedicated it to doing my shipments. Now, what I used to do was I used to try and make a shipment every time I got the stock in. And that was just taking so much of my time, because when I was doing a shipment, I was listening to music, I was watching maybe you on the Facebook group, you know, and you're getting distracted all the time, you know, and a big thing for me is I said, right, I'm going to get everything I possibly can. And then I think it was a Saturday morning. I used to do it when I was working. I just do all my shipments in one go, and that works so well.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think when you're doing something as, frankly, mind-numbing and boring as prep, to be able to just focus on that, get it done. Because let's face it, when you're doing something like prep and someone turns around and says to you on a YouTube video, and that looks way more interesting than the prep, and you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to do that now instead. So I totally get that 100%. That's really great advice. Thank you. Thank you for detailing that. Couple of questions, by the way. Any questions, let us know in the comments. Christos will be happy to answer those. Salvatore says he ships the same on a Sunday, ready for the Monday pickup. Absolutely. And that's a really good point, guys. Try and be strategic in when you're doing your shipments. Well, so I've always said to people that there's not a huge advantage to doing your prep on a Friday or something like that, because it can't be picked up until the following Monday unless you're going to drop it off. But it's certainly not going to get anywhere in that period of time. So always probably do your prep on, you know, weekend, Sunday, those down days when you can be doing something, you know, less. I
actually do mine on a Thursday now. That seems to be my new day, because I've become friends with the UPS driver, and he just knows. He just turns up every Friday now, and it's fine like that. Yeah, but that is a really good point what you made. You know, like It was
Well, it
probably a
doesn't go
mistake
anywhere.
that I made. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. I would say if you're going to pick a prep day, I would actually say the most preferential days to pick a prep day are going to be Monday, Tuesday, those kind of days, because then there's not going to be any delay. If you prep on a Thursday, it gets picked up on a Friday, but then it gets caught in the UPS weekend system as well. So try and do it as early on in the week as you can. And to be honest, it's probably most people's most horrible task that they're in their head they're going to be putting off the most. So I think just get it done and kind of get it out of the way. Matt,
but pick one day when you do it.
Yeah, pick one day. I completely agree with that. And then that just promotes consistency within your business as well. Matt Woodley's posted his questions again. I saw them, Matt. I promise I saw them. Okay, so a couple of questions for you, Christos. What's your favorite income stream? Which I was actually going to ask. That was on my list to ask anyway. Out of the ones you've created so far, what's your favorite?
So there's two ways I can answer this. There is my favorite income stream is I'm gonna have to say is the YouTube channel, and I'll give a good reason to why. Is because I can create free content for everyone else, but at the same time YouTube pays me. So that's my favorite. But the one that I appreciate the most is by far my Amazon reselling business, simply because if it wasn't for my Amazon reselling business, I probably wouldn't have a YouTube channel, and that probably wouldn't have spurred me on to do all of the other things that I've done as well. So they're kind of like the favorites in different senses. YouTube is because I get to do something I absolutely love, which is creating videos, and no one has to pay me any money for it, but I still get paid from YouTube.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I love talking about Amazon. And if it wasn't for Amazon, I probably would have never started the YouTube channel in the first place. So that's my answer to everyone on that one. Yeah.
That's a great answer. And, I just want to add on to that actually as well, because I know some people, when I talk about Amazon, I like to think I talk about Amazon with passion. I think it's phenomenal, business. I think what they've built is remarkable. But what I love about Amazon more than anything else, and I see this every day in what I do, in other people's businesses, in my business, all of these different areas, is Amazon is a phenomenal gateway business. It's a business that opens up so many opportunities. Yeah. And again, not saying everyone should just start Amazon so they can start something else, but it leads to so many more opportunities than any other online marketing business that I can think of. Off the top of my head, I could probably think of 24 income streams that you could possibly go into or go into a later stage or something like that directly related to Amazon. So I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And you know what? Some people stay Amazon resellers and they will be for the rest of their lives, and they'll never do anything additional, or they don't want to do anything. And again, that's perfectly fine. But with Amazon, so much opportunity, and it's okay if will move out of reselling as well. There's a little bit of a stigma again. I think sometimes people say, oh, they're not selling anymore, or they're not doing this, or not doing that. Do you know what? It's part of evolution. It's part of adapting and doing and following your own journey at the end of the day. So
there's a reason why people like Andy Lawrence, Reezy Resells, they've been around for 10 plus years, because they've changed as the times have gone on, and you just have to accept that, like it's just all part of it. Like I was thinking earlier, actually, like there's not been a 2 or 3 month period where it's gone longer than 2 or 3 months, where I've done the same thing in terms of like my sourcing or something like that. There's been a time where I've really focused on wholesale, and then there's been a time where I've like recently there's a big thing around like obviously the toys. Like before Christmas, I was going so hard on the toys kind of thing, and like you just constantly got to be changing, and that is just part of the game. If you can't do that, then there is a high chance that you will end up giving it up, unfortunately. But you just have to change, and like not just what you source, but the way you source it. You just have to keep changing.
Absolutely. Or as the Santander lady says, you'll be dead in the water, and that's so true.
There you go.
Second question from Matt Webley. There's a few. Does he expect a stock market crash this year?
Do I expect one?
Yeah, do you? I didn't realize you were Gordon Gekko, but
well, first things first, whatever I say, don't listen to the word I say. But I don't think there is anybody out there apart from maybe the powers that be behind the scenes, if you're into that kind of thing, that know what's going to happen. Personally, I think there will be a correction this year, but I don't think it's as bad as what people think it will be. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really put much thought into it, because my investment strategy, for those that don't know, I do quite a bit of investing, is it's not thinking about this year or next year. My investment strategy is 20 plus years. I invest heavily into index funds. I just have monthly payments set up. I don't even look at the price. It just goes in every single month at the moment. And then if there are opportunities in terms of crashes or corrections or anything like that, that is when I use any of my spare cash to go into individual stocks and stuff like that. So without sounding horrible to Matt, I don't really care if there is one. If there is one, then I get some stocks I get some index funds at the sale. So but
absolutely.
apart from that, like yeah, I do think there will be a correction though, because like, you know, it's just really hard to understand how the stock market is hitting record highs when the world is hitting record lows, you know, in terms of like the state that we're in. And it's very hard to understand. And there's been a lot of like new retail investors this year. So like a lot of people just like me that are getting into investing and stuff, and that's really flooded in. But yeah, a lot like, no, I think there will be a correction, but I don't want to go too deep into it because I know nothing, just like every other expert on the internet. So.
Well, I'm sure you know more than most just from that, because I'll be honest, I think the only word I understood with what you just said was the. So definitely not my area of expertise. So good to hear. Thank you. Question number 3 from Matt Webley. How does he think sales on Amazon and eBay will compare this year to last year? Again, that was another question on my list as well. Yeah,
of course.
I completely agree. Question number 4. What's Christos's best tips for selling on Amazon?
Cool. Yeah, I've got. Oh God, that's caught me off guard. I've got so many.
You do mainly replenishables, or is it one-off deals?
No, well,
what's the bag, really?
My number one tip that I've been giving a lot of people in the last kind of 6 months is, I know people don't like it, but I cannot stress the opportunities that are out there with retail arbitrage. Like for me, like I know people want that work from home business, and I know at the moment it's not really the best time to go and do it.
No.
But trust me, there are so many shops out there, including the supermarkets, that have products in their stores that they don't sell online. And the fact that you can go out there and get them, and they're at a limited quantity, the competition is just so much lower. The opportunities, the profit is higher. If you just have that opportunity to be able to do that, even if it's just one day a week, or maybe an afternoon or an evening a week, there are so many opportunities with retail arbitrage. Like I said, I'm not promoting everyone to go out and break the lockdown rules or anything like that. But what I am saying is, when things do ease off, please just give it a go, because that has been what has made me my most money in my Amazon. It's what I enjoy the most as well. So that's one big tip I've been giving a lot of people for when the restrictions ease, is to really look at retail arbitrage. Another tip is, I don't like it when people get caught up on the smaller things. Like, for instance, recently we've had the toy gate with the thing. Like at the end of the day, like I know people out there that have spent weeks on end getting themselves stressed out, trying to get these letters from these companies over one product, one unit. Get rid of it. You know, you're just gonna just get it back, sell it on eBay, get your money back, and do something differently. You know, that's like, I'll tell you from now, right now, like before Christmas, 90% of my stock was toys. And for the last month, I've just been liquidating them all out of my Amazon account and looking at other options, because I haven't got the time to be wasting trying to get these certificates and stuff. And if you want to do it, that's fine, by the way. But I'm talking about, like, you know, you've got one unit in stock and you're going to make £1.50 selling it or something like that, and you're trying to get this letter. It's just not worth your stress. And that goes to, like, the other thing as well about kind of the getting ungated in categories as well. Sell what you can. If you can get the wholesale invoice, that's great, but don't. If it's going to take you more than a day or two to be worrying about doing it, there's so many opportunities out there, you know, and getting caught up on the smaller things is kind of a thing that you need to get over. Just for some other tips, I'm thinking about, number 3, we spoke about it. Don't neglect eBay at all. I know that's not directly with Amazon, but like
they go hand in hand, and more we see it.
I've sold on eBay, like these past 2 weeks, I've still made money on, like, even selling them on eBay that I was going to sell on Amazon as well. But yeah, don't neglect eBay. Like, everyone, you know, me included, I neglected it for 2 years. I didn't think about it for 2 years. I used to think I'm too cool to sell on eBay. You know, Amazon's the in thing. But trust me, eBay is so powerful if you treat it the right way, as an Amazon seller. And don't neglect eBay. Just trying to think of one more thing that I can give. Let me think. I
know. Well, I didn't put you on the spot. Matt Webley did. Oh, that's fine. Honestly, Chris, loads of gold nuggets there. I completely agree on the RA front. Huge opportunity. Matthew Wright, Matthew Baker, some of the, you know, bigger sellers that we've had on this channel, Mark, the 8-figure seller, they still all do retail arbitrage now. At the end of the day, they still do it as part of their business. I think sometimes people can get a bit too big for their boots and think, well, I'm not doing that in my business. Well, at the end of the day, if it makes you happy and you enjoy doing it and it's making you money, go for it. Don't listen to anyone else. You know, that's the important thing to consider. Right. Last and final question from Matt. I have to ask this one because I expect it's the one he wanted you to really answer, but disguised it with everything else.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Who's your favorite Apex legend so far?
God,
I don't know what that means.
I can't even remember its name. He knows who it is because it's the only person I've used on there, but he's trying to show me up here. I think it's called Bangor or Bangalore or something. That'll mean absolutely nothing to anybody else. It still doesn't mean anything to me, but just for you, mate. It's the, you know what guy it is. I can't.
There you go. He's totally Apex legend shaming you, 100%.
Yeah, he's trying to show me up.
Andy says he ships stuff every day, going back to what we were talking about. Again, if you don't do it one day a week, that I do think that's another good way to do it small and consistent, get it done, get it out of the way. But again, each to their own. Different strokes for different folks is one of my favorite sayings, 100%. Salvatore said, set a goal to do at least 1 box per week. That's really helped my sales go up in the last couple of months.
That was the big thing that I used to do when I started. I said 1 box a week. And then I raised it as I went on, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. What I say to everybody, and, you know, when I spoke to Salvatore about that, it's one of the biggest tips I can give people that struggle with procrastination, because when it comes down to it, procrastination, I talk about this a lot in the Elite Sellers Academy, because I actually don't think there's much out of there. If you can beat, it's so crippling, procrastination. And if you can find ways to overcome and beat procrastination, then the world is yours. At the end of the day, you will be unstoppable. And the amount of things why people don't do, or sometimes not only don't do things, but do things, because you can have positive procrastination as well, when you do stuff that prevents you from doing other stuff as well. When you look into that quite deeply, it can be put down to so many of our traits and the things that we do every day. So just by taking baby steps, doing one thing per day that sends you towards your future goal, Absolutely. You don't think of it as massive shipments, just 1 box a week. Just start with that. Consistency, regular basis. And then you build it up to 2 boxes a week and so on and so forth. So absolutely good to hear that tips paid off and your sales have gone up for that, Salvatore. Need to organize the rest. Absolutely. So lots of prep people are talking about. Ruth says she likes to on a Saturday and Sunday, get the shipment out for a Monday. Absolutely. I'm not sure who's asked this actually, because what's the best way to research for eBay items? Sorry, the name hasn't come through. I know when Matthew talks about it, he basically just says, well, he doesn't do anything extra. It's just all the stuff that he bypasses that he can't or won't sell on Amazon, and things that he might be gated in or restricted. And so essentially it's all he's not doing any extra work. It's just all the stuff that he's missing out on. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, well, yeah. No, like the big thing about eBay as well, which I haven't mentioned, is because I do quite a bit of wholesale now, is a lot of my wholesalers sell a lot of things that don't sell that often on Amazon, but you still have to do a minimum order to get that product. And the fact that I can look on eBay, check that it's just selling on eBay, and if I can make even, I try to make more than break even, but even if I can get rid of a few of them on eBay to allow me to buy that order to sell those products on Amazon, that just opens up my options when placing wholesale orders. Like, for instance, there was a toy that I bought and I had to buy a minimum of, I think it was £75 worth. And the toy was only costing around £3. So I had to buy quite a few of them, but they're only selling around 6 or 7 a month on Amazon. But I also saw that they were selling quite equally, maybe for a little bit less money on eBay. And I didn't have a problem with buying £75 worth of that product then, because I knew that I had 2 ways to actually sell that product, and it sold on Amazon and eBay, and actually sold more often on Amazon than what I'd expected. But it just opens up your options, and so that's the way I do it as well. Pretty much there's nothing I do in terms of analysis. The only thing I ever use is looking at the sold and completed listings on eBay. I think there is a free tool called eBay Calculator, I think, that you can just type in on Google, eBay Calculator. You could type in the cost of the product. You can put how much you've paid, shipping, and that tells you how much money you've made. But the main thing I do is I check the sold listings to see if it's actually selling and for how much.
Absolutely. Great tips there. Phenomenal. Thank you very much. And that's really interesting because, we all talk about, selling on eBay, which is obviously, what we want to do. But the fact it's also giving you more opportunity on Amazon as well. It's like it's a double bonus.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's have a quick look.
Sure.
Skipped ahead. I think Andy said all shops have RA opportunities. That's how behind on comments. Sorry. So Reezy got Salvatore going with Amazon and news books. Completely different, income stream again for other people. Absolutely. Might have missed a few questions. Sorry. I think John says worst depression in history coming. That's going to be something that obviously we're going to have to wait and see. I think most people are aware that, definitely something is coming. But guess what, guys? We're all in the right place because people are still going to want stuff and they're going to want to buy stuff. And we've got into this kind of WALL-E, the Disney film WALL-E, it doesn't take me long to pull out a Disney reference, but we've got into this kind of WALL-E kind of world at the moment where I think that we're just paying for convenience and we want something delivered. I'm not going to go out and into town and park my car in a multi-story and pay £8 and then walk all through town just to pick up a handbag that I wanted. No, I'm going to order it online. It's going to come the next day, and and I can send it back just as easy. So and especially with the online technologies that they're building at the moment, which are phenomenal. Again, I was talking about this earlier. I don't know if you've seen anything like this, Christos, but I did a post, I think well before Christmas last year, talking about John Lewis and their virtual Christmas shop, which was phenomenal. The clarity, you could zoom in on items, and I was buying some Christmas stuff on John Lewis, and because they had this virtual shop, I went into the shop and I actually ended up spending about £70 more than I was going to, because I was looking at items that I liked, but I couldn't see them, I couldn't touch them. So I think, okay, well, I'll wait until the shops open back up again and I can go and have a look. But they had this virtual store which was absolutely phenomenal, and the quality and the clarity of the images, I actually went ahead and purchased them. But now I'm noticing more and more companies are coming up with kind of innovative ways like this. And on the best one that I've seen, without a doubt, I was browsing for some new sunglasses, as you do in the winter during a pandemic, with no possibility of any type of holiday. I was browsing for some new sunglasses, and I went onto a website called Shade Station, and they've got this technology where they take a picture of your face and you put the sunglasses on your face, but it's not like a crappy image. It looks like you are wearing these glasses. Unbelievable! It blew my mind.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I haven't seen any. I didn't see the John Lewis one or those sunglasses one, but I have seen other versions of it. Actually, the company I worked for before I worked for the job that I just left was a housing company, and they just introduced a VR headset that a customer could come into their main office for its social housing, this is, and actually have a tour of the house through a VR headset. And I think it's only a matter of time where you can put on an Oculus Rift, I think, or Drift, or think what they're called. Matt will tell you all about them. He's an expert with them. Where you can put on one of them and actually go and look around a shop like John Lewis or something like that. And like in my case, it was someone that was viewing a home, so they didn't have to actually go to the home. But I think there's going to be loads of stuff like that coming. I personally think,
yeah, 100%
in this virtual world.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to be lots of avatar or surrogates, or whatever you want to call them. We're heading that way. I think a lot of people.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. People of my generation, coming up to a certain birthday, growing up, we might have expected to be in that sort of future already, especially if you're, the child that grew up watching Back to the Future or anything like that. But everything's coming true. It's just coming a little bit later. And I think the filmmakers and everyone thought, but it's coming 100%.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Someone's asked, are you from Greece?
No, I'm not. Although my name is from Cyprus. My granddad, who obviously sadly passed away, he was from Cyprus. He moved to England when he was 19 to open a fish and chip shop in Great Yarmouth.
How very Cypriot.
Yeah, very Cypriot. Eh? Anyway, he moved to and then rest is history. Basically, I was named Christos, which is obviously a Cypriot name. So I'm only a quarter Cypriot. A lot of people say I look much more than that, but depending on how long the beard is, I think. But no, I'm not from Greece. I'm technically a quarter from Cyprus.
I think Matt's answered that. He's put Norfolk. You're from Norfolk.
Oh yeah, I live in Norwich, so just on the outskirts of Norwich.
Ah, yeah. What is it? Alan? Who is it?
Alan
Steve
Partridge.
Alan Partridge, territory, 100%.
Yeah.
Andy says he sold all his toys, got compliance stocks for. Absolutely, I didn't request any. Just sell them. Just going to sell them. But I'm not going to sell them immediately.
Get that super aggressive sales generator on Profit Protector Pro.
Well, that is an option. That's an option if you just want to get it out of your head. But for me, I know that everyone's dropping the prices like crazy on them. I'd personally rather hang on to them for a little bit longer until the 11th hour, and then if I need to, I can still drop them, so it doesn't make it. And the price would have recovered a little bit more since then.
Got until about the 8th of February, haven't we? Another
12 days, something like that. I don't. I'm a bit like you, Christos. So I've got to be honest. Unless it's like crushingly impending, I don't tend to think.
If I've got like over 100 of them in stock, then I'll think about it.
Yeah, of course.
one or two. It's just pointless.
Yeah. No, don't even get in your headspace. 100%. Right, I've lost where I am. Here we go. So Alison says she's cross-listing the toys on eBay, so getting rid of them. Again, something else, an opportunity people are missing out on there. You could be crashing your stock on Amazon when there could be lots of profit on eBay with selling that stuff. So Garav says doing exactly the same, no time to waste on getting the compliance docs. We're predominantly toys. Yeah. Question 5, definitely the best from Matt. So the Apex Legends one. Salvatore said he's managed to convince the missus to have a go on eBay, and she's got the bug already. That's so cool. That's so cool. Do you know what I just love? I love what we do at the end of the day, because it just like literally since we got Matthew on and Mark, and they were the first people, yourself, Christoph as well. Obviously, Matt Baker and a few other people that come on and started talking about eBay. I've got to be honest, I didn't hear anybody talking about eBay. And now it's really buzzy and people are talking about it, and the proof's in, you know, the pudding in what people are putting in the comments here. So it's absolutely phenomenal. Let's have a quick look. A few eBay questions. Anita, have you do you check the number of sales on a product on eBay, or can you? I think you've sort of answered that.
Basically, I think when you basically when you search for a product, you can go down to the filters, and then if you click the sold listings, so you filter by the sold listings, it will show the completed listings as well. And I think that eBay, someone will have to confirm in the comment section, I believe they look at the last 90 days. They will show all of the products that are sold from the last 90 days, and basically all I will do is have one thing you can actually do, and I think this is a bit more of an advanced tip. You can have a look at how many sellers are selling that product by doing the normal search, so you can see how many there are. And then if you were to look at the sold listings, see how many are sold in the last 90 days, you can do some kind of calculation to see how competitive it will be. But really for me, I'm just looking at the sold listings. How many have sold? Is it selling? Basically, it doesn't have to be selling that much because there's no storage fees on eBay. I can just let it sit there, and when it sells, it sells. Yeah, that's the only real analysis that I'm doing on eBay at the moment. It's just sold listings.
Definitely. Sean says, on my eBay business account, I only pay £2 total eBay fee with the deal that they gave me recently.
Yeah, it's a new one.
Oh yeah, well that's that. So £2 total fee, £2 total fee. That's amazing.
Yeah, I really wish I took that. I just sold my old iPhone for 300 quid, and the fee on that was ridiculous.
Well, you should have taken the £2. Yeah, no, absolutely. So if you sell something for 250 quid and still only pay £2 fee for 100 products, that's phenomenal. eBay. I mean, when I was an eBay seller back in the day, you know, before people, you know, could read and write, it was like literally they were so kind of innovative with their offers, in the sense that, you know, you'd have a free listing weekend, pay no fees weekend, you know, all these different types of things, and they would do lots of different things to be able to encourage their sellers and help and support their sellers, and, you know, obviously whilst still attracting more business for them at the end of the day. But the platform's just absolutely phenomenally evolved, and I was really surprised about some of the innovations that eBay have done that no one talks about, especially the global shipping program, and how we've heard today Amazon have again temporarily suspended, which is a horrible word to put on any.
When I saw that email, oh my god,
it was mini heart attack, and I know we've spoken about that in the group today. But please, Amazon, if anyone from the Amazon world is watching and you work there, please don't use that word in the title of an email. God, you've sent like most people into blooming, you know, high blood pressure. You send the blood pressure through the roof. So please don't use that. But of course they've suspended, because whatever system they've got in place with people buying from the UK and still sending out into Europe, they've had to pause it, because guess what? Everyone's still sending packages. No one's taken the warnings, and no one's taken all into account the up to 6 pieces of additional information and documentation you need to supply to get your shipments over the border. By the way, we're not going to go in and talk about Brexit. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But eBay have got it sorted. eBay has got an option in place. Yes, it's not going to be for everyone, but at the end of the day, what people have got to realize is the less that you can do this stuff on Amazon, and if eBay's got a credible opportunity, even if the shipping does cost people a little bit more, people do not go without. We do not live in that type of world now. We want it, and we want it now, and we're going to get it no matter what. So gradually there's going to be a mindset shift in people that the new sort of prices that people are going to have to pay to buy stuff from Europe, and if you are in Europe from the UK, so vice versa, you're going to have to pay it. If you want it, there's no other way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went really ranty then. Sorry. But eBay's got that set up. So again, pioneering, and for the early adopters and the people that have recognized that within eBay, plausible opportunity that Amazon does not have.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, now that option's gone, I don't know if there's any other plausible opportunity at the moment to sell on Amazon in Europe, which is crazy when you think about it. Absolutely crazy. Right. Luke says, how many ASINs or items roughly do you have active on Amazon or eBay at any one time? Only answer that.
Yeah. Are you talking about like total units, or is he talking about individual items?
Yeah, probably SKUs or
it's always going up and down all the time, because doing RA, obviously you're not getting masses of quantity in, and let me have a look. right now it's more on the low side because I've been doing a lot of clearing out, but right now I currently have only about 130 at the moment, but I'd say around Q4 that's like triple that. I don't really have that many, to be honest with you. When I was
do wholesale as well, so you're gonna have
when I was doing books when I first started, obviously I had a lot more, but yeah, it's not as big as what some people think, I think I don't really check it that much, but I'd probably say on average it would be between 100 and 200, nothing ridiculously high or anything like that. Like, one of the big things that I love about retail arbitrage is I spend a lot of time in my local area when I could, sourcing products, and then if I found a hot product that was selling out by the time it gets to Amazon, that's when I get my friend, we get in this van and we'll do a trip of the whole country and just pick them all up, and and it's just one product, but it's just selling out every time. There was this one product that I was buying over Christmas time, with some hot chocolates, and you couldn't get it in any of the supermarkets, but you could get it from I think it was Home Bargains, and we were buying it, and it was just selling out every time. So we were just going to all the Home Bargains, and grabbing them, and so yeah, I don't really know, but in answer to the question, anything between 100 and 200, but it's changing all the time,
Oh, absolutely. It will change depending on time of the year. It will change on season. It will depend on how fast, how quick things are selling. Obviously, when it comes to SKUs and things like that, it's like anything. You don't know what's going on in someone's account. You don't know what's going on in closed doors and how many units people have got of certain things. You could be someone that has 50 SKUs, and someone might look at it and think, well, you don't sell very much. But each one of those 50 SKUs, you could have 200 in stock of each of your items, which is so much more than someone that's got 300 SKUs in stock and only one or two of each item. So you can't really do anything like that, I suppose. You can't look at it.
Well, I always hear kind of in the eBay community, everyone talks about kind of the golden number being like 1,000 active listings, and then you really start to see a really nice steady income. Like, I wouldn't even dream of having 1,000 Amazon listings. If I had 1,000 Amazon listings, I'm not sourcing right, because they're not selling out quick enough. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like I think it really just depends on the business model you're doing, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Luke Dugan's perfect example of that.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't have, you know, thousands of units, but he's very heavy on the stock that he sends of each unit. So yeah, different strokes for different folks. 100%. Again, I feel like I've said that about 10 times tonight. It's so true. I think we've got a bit of a competition going on about parts of going back to being a quarter Cypriot.
Really?
Vikings, we've got some New Zealanders, we've got some Irish, we've got a bit of a combination going in there, 100%. So yeah, Daphne said cross-listing on toys as well. So lots of people are doing that. Andrew, who's brilliant on eBay as well. Thank you for commenting. Andrew said 90 days. I think that was in response to what you were saying about the sold listing. So
thanks for confirming.
Thanks for confirming. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of a conversation going on there. Oh, about me locking up the kids. I really should have clarified that. Yeah, for anyone watching a bit later on, because that looks really dodgy in the comments. Like I locked my kids up. So if anyone works for social services or anything, don't report me. I really don't lock my kids up. So let's have a quick look. Andrew says, if you have a store, you can use Terapeak and go back further as well.
Interesting. I've heard of that Terapeak. I've not looked into it yet, though.
Yeah, definitely a good tip. Thanks for sharing that, Andrew. Caitlin, does Keeper help at all with analysis on eBay or pricing, or is it just, you know, current? I don't think it would. I can't.
No. It's all Amazon data, isn't it, Keeper?
Amazon all the way, I'm afraid. Christos, how do you calculate eBay fees? But I think you sort of covered that anyway.
Yeah, I've got the website up here if anyone wants to go to it. It's completely free. It's just called www.ebayfeescalculator.com. And if I ever want to work out how much money I'm making, it has a couple of fields. It just has the sold price, shipping charge that you're charging, how much you're actually paying for shipping, how much the item cost. You can even put on your promoted ad rate percentage, if it's an overseas sale and stuff like that, and that'll just tell you the profit, the eBay fee, and the eBay fee percentage of the sold price. So yeah,
cool. Good to know. Thank you for sharing. Matthew Paker has put eBay shipments and then like 3 like driving himself crazy faces. Let us know, Matthew, have you managed to get a shipment through yet? Has it gone the full process? Because I know Matthew Sim has, you know, a big part of the business was obviously selling in the EU, so he's really persevering with the shipments, you know, which is obviously you can do.
It's like the gold, isn't it? The EU shipments. Everyone's trying to be the first person to do it, and if whoever gets that first one is going to become a legend in the game, you know.
Absolutely.
I hope Matthew's the one that gets it done.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that's done it yet. I mean, it will happen, obviously. We're still experiencing delays. And you know what was interesting, actually, part of the program that I was watching this morning as well was talking about freight to do with this whole new potential quarantine issue that's coming in for people traveling into the country, having to mandatory quarantine 14 days in a hotel. And they had someone on from an airline talking about what impact obviously it's going to have on the travel industry, which is not really related to what we're talking about. But what has a knock-on effect is we've seen this from some of our private label sellers, some of the people that import from other parts of the world, that we've seen air freight shipments, you know, increase 5-fold since the pandemic. And the reason why they've increased so much is because passenger fees or passenger costs or passenger revenues, what the airlines get, that actually supplements freight air costs, because the freight goods hitch a ride on the passenger airplanes, so they're costing but if there's no passengers on the airplanes, that's why the costs have gone up. And the woman was essentially saying, if now the 14-day thing comes into place, passenger air travel is effectively done, because most people are not going to quarantine for 14 days, and there's going to be massive fines associated with it doesn't. So she was basically saying over this period of time that there's going to be a period of time where air freight is going to be non-existent. Will be expensive, people won't do it. People won't pay it. So that's going to have a knock-on effect for sea freight, which is already under the cosh at the moment. We're backed up because of Brexit. We're backed up because of delays during the COVID-19 pandemic. So when it comes to, you know, being retail, online arbitrage, sourcing goods produced in the UK, we're launching a private label product. Private label product is produced in the UK. Definitely a great opportunity for people to look at, because overall prices are going to go up, like what we were talking about earlier. So it all has a knock-on effect, 100%. Matthew says, currently stuck in customs still, just trying to find some totally unrelated documents that they're requesting. Yeah, I think it's, I think it's going to be a good year. I honestly think it's going to be a good year before we start seeing some sort of, I don't know, normality or processes or clarity in the shipments and everything like that. So, or again, Matthew's just said, I know someone that just got quoted 15K for a 40-foot container. I can't remember who it was. Apologies if you're watching. It might have been Stuart, it might have been Daphne. I can't remember. But someone put in the Facebook group, I think yesterday, about a woman talking about being quoted a ridiculous amount of money for shipping. So we're going to have to rely on what's being produced here, certainly, you know, for this year and see what happens.
Yeah, I know someone as well that got a big quote. I don't think it was quite 15K, but they said it just knocked all of the profit out of those products. But yeah, it's tricky time.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, rest assured, we will be, you know, we will get through it, guys. It's a temporary blip. We'll get through it. Don't worry. Josh has asked, on average, how quickly do your items sell on or flip on Amazon? Are you a sit and wait, or are you an aggressive?
Bit of both. So some of the wholesalers that I buy from, end of line toys. And those ones I'm happy to sit on and wait for. A really good example I had was I can't remember the exact name of the product, but it was something to do with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles I had. And when I bought it, the price of the product just absolutely dipped because I think a lot of wholesalers were offering them out to people.
Yeah.
But I just let it sit in my unit. I think I bought it at something like, I want to say something like £5.50 plus VAT, so somewhere around £6 or £7, and then instantly it dropped down to like £12, so like no profit in it at all. Come Christmas, it was selling for £24.99, and I had 25, 30 of them in my unit. So in terms of those kind of things, very much a sit and wait kind of guy, but definitely with the OA, I was saying about the hot chocolates, the seasonal items, very much just get it in. If they drop, I'm matching the price. You know, I've got my minimums and maximums all set up now on Profit Protector Pro. But yeah, I like a mix. Yeah, so like a lot of my retail arbitrage and wholesale, I do like to hold on for as long as possible. But like definitely with the OA, it's just very much automated. Buy the product, set my minimums, and then forget about it. And so it's a mix, but there's benefits to both.
Hard to get toys. You are mad if you are dropping the price on those end of line Disney stuff. I see people dropping the stuff on like Disney products, notwithstanding obviously the DOCs that people have been asking for recently. That is different. I do get that. But I see people buying end of line stuff in a Disney sale and dropping the price on it. At the end of the day, there are Disney nutters out there like me, that collect this sort of stuff, that want this sort of stuff. So at the end of the day, if it's end of line, it's always going to recover at some point if you can't get it again. And Disney generally only puts stuff in sales that you can't get again. And I'm using Disney as an example, but that's the same across all of these.
Oh yeah, there's this line of toys that I'm not going to say the line of toy, but if you know, when it's not even so much for myself, it's respect for the people that know about it. But if you know, drop me a message and I'm sure we can talk about it. But they're in a lot of the supermarkets, and then there's this one variation of this toy, and they cost £10 to buy, and most of them sell on Amazon at £10. But there's this one version that's ultra rare, and it sells for £80 on Amazon, and it's very hard to come by. Like, I found 2 or 3 of them over the past 12 months, but like, there are toys out there, and that's the thing that I love most about retail arbitrage, because that like brings me back to like my youth days when I was collecting Pokemon cards, looking for that rare card. It's just like when you're going out, you're just looking for that one toy, and if you hit that toy, that's just covered your whole day. And
absolutely.
Those ones you definitely do not want to be dropping the price on.
No, especially things, and if I know what you're talking about, which I think I might, so I'm going to drop you a message afterwards.
Yeah,
especially kind of kids TV shows that are not on TV anymore, and that type of thing. And that's all I'm saying. I'm saying.
I've never even seen them before, by the way. Like, I'd never even heard of them. It's not like Scooby-Doo or anything like that. I was like, what the hell are these?
Scooby-Doo, I've got to be completely honest. I've bought and sold so many Scooby-Doo toys over the years, and I have never made 1 penny profit on anything Scooby-Doo.
Really?
And actually, it's the same for the Turtles as well. I've never had any luck with Turtles for some reason. It just, I think you get, I don't know why, but even if it looks like a really good deal, I wouldn't go anywhere near Turtle stuff now, because I've had so many bad experience of it. And what was really funny was when you were saying, oh, £5.50, and someone was selling it for 12 quid. In my head, I was thinking, well, probably the people out there that don't have BuyBot Pro are probably thinking, actually, there's some profit in that. BuyBot Pro, folks. If you were thinking, oh, well, that sounds like it's, there's some good profit in that. Definitely not. Yeah. So no, absolutely. Don't drop those. Don't drop those prices, guys. And I know it's a bit more difficult with declarations of conformity and the compliance policy. So I get it. I do get it 100%. Cool. So I think I'll just answer a few more comments, and because we've gone well over the hour tonight, which I thought we were going to. And he said he loves Scooby. He sold loads. Well, I haven't. But then saying that, I hear the amount of people, I've always talked about Disney and it being a real kind of honeypot of places to sell, and you get so many people saying, I've never made a penny on Disney, I've never made this, it always tanks, it does this, it does that. You're not looking in the right areas, or you're not holding stock or whatever. So everyone's got different strategies. 100%. Matthew says, once we start getting shipments through the EU, the ROI will be really good as supply and demand will push prices up. Absolutely. For the people that are going to be able to sell in the EU, which is going to happen, it is going to happen once things calm down. Oh, it's going to be phenomenal for people's businesses. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. I think we're up to date. I think we've answered mainly everything. But just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us this evening, Christos. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And I don't know if Karen or Matt or Holly or Matt or anyone still watching, I want to give you a shout out for your YouTube channel, which we'll pop in the comments. So I don't know if you want to say
I appreciate that.
And also your Facebook group as well. So what's the YouTube channel?
It's just Christos Fellas. So if you go to YouTube and type in Christos Fellas, I should come up, hopefully. And Facebook group is the Amazon Reseller Network, which is really good. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I'm quite active on there as well. Just type in Christos Fellas. Everything is Christos Fellas apart from the Facebook group. So I'd really appreciate it if you went over there and checked it out.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so funny. I put a personal shout out on my Facebook page might have been yesterday, I can't remember, about someone's come and clean the car during lockdown. And one of my friends put, I tagged you in something on Instagram, on Insta or something like that. And I thought, well, I'm not even on there. So how have you done that? Then I went in and realized I must have set up an account like years ago or whenever it was. I don't know. Matt was like, you have got an account, but it's not like I do need to. I have seen your Instagram, though. I have seen your Instagram a couple of times that I did go on there. And it looks really, really good. I'm not cool enough.
I think your Matt's on Instagram. I think I've got Matt on Instagram. Yeah. I actually tagged Secret Wealth Project in a post today saying that I was coming on here, but then I realised that was Matt Webley's account now, but I think he just hasn't changed the handle.
Ah, right. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't know about that. You know, obviously Matt Webley is Mr. Secret Wealth Project. So
he is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely is. Although for some reason I do get tagged in a load of stuff or mentioned in videos as the owner. I'm not the owner. I just look after it for Matt. You know,
you do a good job. You do a good job. Very good job.
Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated. So, yeah, lots of people giving you love. I think Matt's popped your YouTube channel in there as well.
Oh, appreciate that.
Sean says, when someone tells me secret product, I tell them mine.
Secret Product Society's got there, has he?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good name. That's a really good name. Good when sellers are not local to you. Yeah, absolutely. Buying groups are really good, you know, sort of smaller buying groups.
Yeah.
If you can get into that kind of group with a couple of other RAs and you're not in the same area around the country, absolutely. You might as well do it because no one can pick up all of the stock at once, and it's you know, sharing the love, and it's all reciprocal at the end of the day. So I know some people in this community do quite well off of forming little RA buying groups and things like that. So definitely worth considering. If part of what Sean says, show him yours and he'll show you. I'm going to stop saying that. I'm going to stop saying that 100%. No, stop saying that. But no, thank you everyone for watching. As always, been absolutely fascinating tonight, Christos. It really, really has. Thank you so much. I think you would have inspired a lot of people into not only looking at eBay, but plans for the future and not being obsessed with right now, you know, building things that are going to take a little while longer, possibly, but I must say, absolutely, I think you're phenomenal in the way that you think about things, because we are such a society where we just want instant gratification.
And yeah, just to reiterate on that once more, just like, please, guys, if you can, like, I don't know if you can use me as an example. There really is no trophies in this. It is just completely based on your thing. There's, you know, don't be afraid if you're not a VAT registered seller. Don't be afraid if you're not a six-figure seller. Do it for you and no one else. There, you know, I know it can be hard in this community sometimes when you see so many amazing results, and you should be looking at that as inspiration, but don't let them put you down or get you down about your own journey, because it is everything. And just it's your own journey you're on, and just stay focused on your own path.
Absolutely, completely agree. Focus on you, and you know, the rest will fall into place. So remember, next week we will be here. Christos won't, unfortunately, but I will, and I'm going to be joined by a new kind of six-figure seller. A guy called Johnny's going to be joining us, going to be talking through his journey. He's had a phenomenal Q4, really changed changed his business, and was able to really put some good foundations in for this year. So we're going to be talking to him next week about his journey on Amazon and what he's going to be doing this year moving forward. So please make sure you join us next week, 7 o'clock for that one. As ever, questions in the Facebook group. Check out Christos's YouTube channel and his Facebook group as well. As you've heard tonight, just loads of gold nuggets, lots of good advice, and definitely lots of good business practices. So you're always welcome, and definitely I hope that you'll come back and see us again in the future.
Yes, definitely, of course. Thank you so much for having me once again. That was brilliant.
You're welcome. It was an absolute pleasure. Well, good night, everyone. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Night, guys.